unite us by exposing our differences. That's one man's goal as he rides his bike across the country. Usher Qureshi met up with him in Chicago to talk about this unique project.
Geared up and ready to ride, Seth Gottesdiener recently embarked on a cross-country odyssey.
It's my preferred method of transportation, and I find it really meditative, and it's one of my favorite things to do athletically outdoors.
The 33-year-old social justice activist mounted his two-wheeler back in late September for what he called the Great American Bike Ride.
I thought, why don't I bike across America and talk to people, talk to just denizens of the country and see where they're at and see how this year has affected them and, their opinions.
The 45-day journey began in Los Angeles. His plan to pedal his way through 22 cities and 13 states, concluding his expedition in the nation's capital on Election Day.
Truthfully, I was not prepared for the Great Southwest. It was very intense. It was very unrelenting. The heat was over 100 degrees a lot of the days. Giant mountains, really, really dry.
All along the way, Seth met with Americans from all walks of life, interviewing them as part of a feature documentary.
I want people to hear voices that they would have never come encounter with on their own. I want to connect Americans together.
The ride also took him on a journey of self-discovery.
And then there was parts of the country that I hadn't ever seen before, like Arkansas, like Kentucky, and a lot of Tennessee, and it was beautiful.
It was also an opportunity, he says, to gain a better understanding of fellow citizens bitterly divided by politics. He hopes the journey reminds one another of the human spirit that connects us all.
Be there for each other, help each other, pull each other up by the bootstraps, rather than be so divided as we've seen this year. One of the questions that I asked, if there's one thing you could say to all Americans right now, what would it be?
He knows what he would say.
I would just say, listen.
In Chicago, I'm Usher Qureshi.
Thanks for joining us this week for Stories of Americans Banding Together for Good. Next week, our topic is veterans. We're in a heartland state where one group is making sure veterans have affordable housing, plus how some of the major issues of today affect veterans and their families. Until then, in Brattleboro, Vermont, I'm Chris Stewart, and this is The Race.